Kalahari. Husky, I think it's perfect. And this is where I would have loved to see Al Qadsiya dominate. Unfortunately, they've been kicked out already. Who do you think is going to take their spot?
I hate the kind of the echo chamber, but I do agree with what the panel said, AJ. RRQ Kazu has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
AG, even when they were known as Star Wars, and even going way back in the days, Nigma Galaxy, they are pretty proficient on Kalahari, and especially this squad known as AG Global, right? They are looking for a run it back on the international stage. A run it back not to win the championship, but just to score good enough because they've been there before. The Dew Caramel stop. Let's see if they can replicate that again on a map that is this open.
So the panelists say RRQ. My man Husky says RRQ. I'm going to go the opposite way. I'm not going to go with the Indonesians. I'm going to say Team Falcons is going to fly in, swoop around, spot out exactly who they want to make into prey, and absolutely crush the competition here on map number 3, because God knows they need some points.
Absolutely. I mean, even BRU needs a lot of points, right? They are currently placed 10th. On their leaderboard. Thank goodness it's just point rush, but it seems like there's already a rush happening from Loud, taking down Cypher. Twisted Mai taking the frontal fight.
Wow.
And gets absolutely sprayed down in the back by Start with that mini Uzi. So Loud ends up losing one of their members.
Yeah, you just absolutely love it when the mini Uzi jumps into action and gets those knocks and eliminations right now. AG Global in a tight little spot here. They do have Loud to deal with. There's a team right behind as well. But of course, Loud has got an insurance policy. They have already sent Lost 21 pretty far away from this situation. Iago with the Mac Gen flew on in to drop Cypher. But Cypher was awaiting AK-47 straight to the head. And he takes the second elimination for the squad.
Wow, that was a stylish finisher if I've ever seen one. Cypher landing every single shot just like that. Tracking his pursuer as if he has just his supernatural aim. So AG gets 2 free points at the start, and Loud just gotta bite the bullet, go for the revives, reset.
One of the first things you want to purchase from the pocket market is the grappling hook, just so that you can grapple around the battlefield a little bit like a superhero. And AG Global doing exactly that. You're going to need that if you want to traverse through such a mountainous area. But Fluxo, though, caught outside, split off in a 2-2 formation. Razor tagged up already. But can Duts respond with that mini Uzi? He's got one player, but a sliver of health on the other. He could not follow up, but as I say that, he gets a double. A beautiful play from Duts.
What a clutch from this man, the prodigy of RRQ Kazu. That could have gone disastrous, but both teams did the best they could. Fluxo taking over that building from RRQ, and RRQ making sure that they don't surrender the rest of the command post over to Fluxo. Meanwhile, Lost 21 goes down, has to be revived again, and they fell in the hands of AG, so that's 3 points off of taking out Loud members.
Yeah, bad start for Loud in Kalahari for sure. They're not doing too well in this heat. But AG Global absolutely wrecking the competition. One team that they've come across thus far, and they have made sure that the team has got nothing to say. Loud, the dominators of the group stage, have been forced to quickly reposition. Let's see what they can do later on at the refinery. In the meantime, Fluxo will still have to continue dealing with the Indonesian squad of RRQ as Ma'al is brought right back in. Full squad. Fluxo in a lot of trouble.
And you can see that Fluxo, they are not deciding to commit to this because the rest of the members have moved away. So it's a 2v3 ABI. Almost gets a double spray down, but they're going to start to box in these 2 members of Fluxo who are healing themselves back up. Space is given, but Fluxo are still feeling very claustrophobic as Butson, Gio trying to fight their way out. RRQ Kazu coming in from behind. Wow, feels the pincer maneuver, gets taken out by Butson.
Yeah, Butson goes in for another one, and a very high out as well. Finally put down on the ground. But of course, the revival onto their brother Bobs is going to keep the squad alive, even though this does go south. Now, Razor swinging on in, has got the treatment sniper in hand. Butson with a sliver of health, tries to survive. Mini Uzi cannot reach him just yet, and RRQ needs to play the vending machine for the revival.
Butson's going to throw that nade out. He managed to revive one of his teammates. So even if he goes down right now, Bobs can carry the legacy of Fluxo. Butson finally put down by Razor after going on an absolute rampage on the members of RRQ Kazu. Both teams suffering major damage.
Unfortunately for RRQ, the finisher came through a little bit too slow. Bobs and GU have been revived. Fluxo will continue to stay alive in the competition. But this was a beautiful finisher, right? He spotted out 2 players And I thought he was not going to follow up onto MT7, but he swung around MT7 going in for that pickup without the glue wall. The biggest mistake at the start of the game. But now, speaking of Falcons earlier on, seems like they're not off to a great start here. Getting caught in a fight against the Vietnamese players of PE Sports, and they only turn tails to get away.
Very good defense from PE Sports, weathering the storm, getting 4 points for themselves and taking control of this area around confinement. I mean, you have EVOS Divine on the far end, and even further down, it's going to be Netshoe minus. It seems like PE Sports are moving towards where EVOS is. Team Falcons gets a full revive. Meanwhile, for Loud, they are still not out of the woods just yet.
Solid. Finds a solid play. Oh my god, Lost 21 turned the tables on him with a power foul. Riptide rhythm onto Lost 21. He cannot pull up any glue walls. Technically, the boy only has one. Either way, he goes down. Unfortunate that he could not convert that knock into an elimination. So it was a little bit of a wasted opportunity, but he tried his best.
Still was able to inflict some damage onto Team Solid, right? They had to use utils, but I agree. Going for that revive again just further slows down Loud's momentum.
Oh my,
and
one more.
Drax is gonna feel the heat again. I mean, Lau is just not having a good time at all. Like you said, AJ, the heat is not something that they're familiar with.
Yeah, and of course, if it is not a heat rash, you're just gonna get eliminated. It's one of those two, right? Yago out of the open, knocked down onto the ground. There is a revive just moments before Yago went down. Kawan brings Yago back in. I mean, if they do not have luck, one thing they do have is a lot of free fire coins.
Yeah, they have a lot of money, I suppose. If only I could, you know, revive people with actual cash, but I wonder how much revives have happened for Lau. I mean, Lost 21 is gone again, and they brought him back, and Fluxo finds elimination number 7. AG trying to go fast. What? Still finds the knock before he goes down.
Yeah, but Dew was just pushing his luck there. He had 7 HP. He did not need to re-engage. Went in there for the finisher. Wanted the style knock, but unfortunately got knocked down himself. GU now, hoping and praying that On Fire does not find him. He's got the MP5 in hand, but the blessing in disguise here is his opponent does not have backup just yet, so GU could just have a one-up here. PE Sports on the other side of the battlefield, taking a battle straight up against EVOS Divine.
This is going to be a very, very tough fight for EVOS, in fact. Riptide Rhythm does break all the glue wall. Aim got up onto the roof, so it's between him and Huang Ang. Apex joins his friend to go for a 2v1 maneuver, but PE Sports have all of the angles covered. Huang Ang goes down to the ground floor. The portal also used. Good reposition from PE Sports, and Nero now gets pushed.
Yeah, EVOS Divine backing away slowly. They just want to find the reposition. Nero from down the bottom, getting the cue from the rest of his team members to slowly back away, but the boy's just a tad bit too slow. He will have to be the sacrificial lamb unless the portal comes in handy for a quick reposition. And now it is EVOS Divine on the flip side of things that might just be in danger if they come in there for the pursuit.
On the other hand, Team Falcons and Fluxo on the screen. Of course, a great distance from one another, but Fluxo still had to go for the revive. And even for Team Falcons, you know, sharing the same fate. Circle a bit brutal though, going towards the east side of Kalahari. That's a lot of complex terrain to maneuver.
Team Falcons spotting out Raid Fest. He will be tagged up by the Holmer. And Raid doesn't have much of a defense to play around with, and Peter unfortunately throws himself off of the tower with a misclick of that grappling hook. Something you don't want to see at a stage like this, but mistakes do happen. You fat finger a couple of those clicks on your screen, but thankfully that did not turn against them. Ice grenade is going to be dropped on Abax, who manages to back away. Aim God is there for the defense. Coscu does not get tagged up by that grenade, but EVOS Divine does really need to sweat. They've got enough players here to overwhelm Falcons. It's all about the timing.
Even have the Steffi in hand as well, so Abax is going to play a crucial role when bombardments start happening. EVOS Divine still lingering around this area. Apex, he's drawing attention from Peter as Aim God takes refuge in that building beside where Team Falcons is. And even this bird's eye view, Twisted Minds sticking together to go for their long rotation. It's Kalahari experience in a nutshell. So much open ground to work with.
Too much of open ground if you ask me. Twisted Minds not in danger just yet. Trying to place themselves smack dab in the middle of the current safe zone. Oh, sorry, the next safe zone, I have to say. So they don't really need to travel all that too much. This is positioning supremacy from Twisted Minds. Not looking for engagements, not looking for points. Just purely looking for a safe ground for them to get into an engagement if they're forced into it.
Yeah, I agree. They're smack in the middle or almost in the middle of this circle for now. But it's a slightly different situation if you compare it to Bermuda, Nextera, or a non-Kalahari map, right, essentially, because it's just so less building to work with.
Yeah.
The fact that Twisted Mind found one, they have to hold on to it with their lives until the next phase.
In a couple of seconds, we will find out exactly where the next phase drags us into. Buriram up on top, having to deal with Team Solid. Tattoo tagged up already. No follow-up, Puna. Just waiting to ambush the squad, waiting for that call. Riptide Rhythm takes down a defense, but no player from the side of Buriram behind there. Watsa, on the other hand, downed by Dew. All gamers, they get a free one off of Team Solid.
New kill leaders, 8 eliminations for AG Global. Just doing it slow and steady, right? It's not like they're getting into big firefights. They're just picking off players one by one. There is a trade happening even. AG Global not stopping. Nyx goes down. Cypher picks that up. A quad for this man. And Team Solid, they just have to take the L.
Yeah, unfortunately, Tattoo's just going to be hunted down. This is circle number 3 already. Pocket Market's not your friend at this point of time. Nameless and Gang shutting down players from the side of Gaming Gladiators as well as Loud, both at the same time. But Twisted Minds in the advantageous position here. They've got a full squad going up against Twisted Minds, who are very slowly circling around them. But Gaming Gladiator is going to be the distraction. Raz does manage to steal away the point. And that's not going to be making Twisted Minds too happy.
Not at all. Even Twisted Minds, they saw the opportunity, wants to go for intervention, but this is going to be a pretty tricky one, right? They try to go for the two-prong attack, divide and conquer. Drax does lose his head, and Diamond goes in for the collection. Twisted Minds now finds the building.
Gaming Gladiators, they could have gotten a tad bit more aggressive, but they've got a bigger goal in mind. They want to get to that final circle, but can they get past Twisted Minds, who are most definitely desperate for a couple of points out there? Oh my goodness, this could be just like shooting fish in a barrel if they do toss in those grenades. But great gameplay from Gaming Gladiators. All of them just sneaking behind this one counter, hoping and praying they don't get found. No R1s used. I'm surprised. A couple of grenades could finish them off there.
That's how you saw that glue up put up, right? Gaming Gladiators, they don't want to take any chances. And Twisted Minds, they're not going to do that. They're not going to take their chances as well.
Oh
LBT getting taken down on that elimination feed as Team Falcons finally showing up. But Sin gets spotted. Good day with the secure. Fluxo eliminated. Don't Cry getting ran at by On Fire. And Team Falcons are just going to hunt them down. Don't Cry falls along with PE Sports.
That was the perfect revenge found within this match in itself. It was PE Sports that sent Falcons flying off, running with tails stuck between their legs earlier on in this matchup. But they still managed to find them and nail them down onto the ground. But of course, this was where everything started crumbling for Team Solid, right? Watsa out of the equation, and the rest of them just fell one after the other.
That's our MVP from Thailand. That's our sniper MVP due.
Yeah.
Right there. The one with the most MVP in a single league. And no one came close to him. But still, AG taking off fights one by one, you know, slow and steady. Netshoe Miners, on the other hand, will have to face off against Team Falcons.
7 eliminations in hand already, and Falcons have an opportunity to shut down Netshoe Miners, but they have got a bigger goal to attain for themselves, looking for the circle, but tagged up from the back. Riptide Rhythm, do you get the save? One more picked right back up. A timely maneuver from Team Falcons, but General goes in for the shutdown. It's the grenade that finds one more, pun intended.
Absolutely stunning performance from General, leading the charge and making sure that his team goes for the clean play. Koskill with the Mac 10 finds one, but one is not enough. The rest of Netshoe Miners here to play, and Team Falcons will not stand a chance.
Netshoe Miners from clunking out early in Game 1, getting the booyah in Game 2, absolutely stunning the Falcons here at Game 3. And now EWC Divine, Apex can't run away from Gaming Gladiators, all suffering outside of the blue zone. Little by little, they creep on in, but a fantastic showdown out against the Indonesians.
How many of the GG members can make it into the circle? They're doing the juggling very well. Coach Hugh gets brought back up, instantly goes for a bit of that heal with the inhaler. And maybe GG will just drag themselves across the finishing line, but Coach Hugh gets knocked down by the play zone again. They still want to go for the pick out Raz with a good rescue. They are doing it so well. The juggling from the side of GG. Teamwork at its finest. They all make it to safety.
Yeah, I thought the Team Falcons were very used to this heat, man. I guess they're not just yet. But thank goodness this is just point rush. The recovery can be there for the grand finals. But Netshoes Miners on the other hand, with Brock 7 picked right back up, they are spending a little bit too long out there at the very edge of the circle. Now this puts them at a disadvantage unless they take a long rotation around the right-hand side. But instead of that, they're just going to move straight on into bird's eye view. Team Twisted Minds has got an advantage up against them.
Netshoes Miners have a couple of infos to work with. Twisted Minds in front of them, but also Gaim Gladiators to the west side with that Dinoculus that they deployed earlier on. But for Twisted Minds, they still somehow managed to find cover. And this is a pretty good spot, right? Even having a monster truck right in front of them, they could get a few eliminations with those pot shots.
AG, 12 points in hand already, but not a lot of players to survive with. So they just have to stick by, hoping and praying that they do not get found. It is the Wonder Child Duke, one of the best snipers out there from the Thai region. We did not see a lot of him in terms of dominance over at FFWSC. But Buriram trying to make that recovery gameplay as well as Gaim Gladiators get taken out.
BRU finally having a great round. This is the round that they are going to get that big point injection regardless of the results. Twisted Minds now a part of this final conflict. It is going to be Armageddon unleashed. Exposé ends up going down first, and BRU is the only team with the full squad left.
Twisted Minds slowly but surely circling around. 909 in a lot of trouble. Both Buriram and Twisted Minds focusing on Netshoes Miners. You do not get a back-to-back booyah by the looks of things here, Netshoes. Diamond, a couple of grenades out of this guy, and he quickly backs away, waiting for that final engagement, allowing Buriram to do most of the dirty work.
A ticking time bomb about to explode. Netshoes Miners cannot escape the grasp of fate. Nando 9 goes down to the ice grenade, and Proc 7 will just have to make a mad dash for it as BRU feeling confident enough that this is their time to remind the stage who they are as the team. Wasana going in for a nameless. Twisted Minds getting picked apart left, right, and center. Absolutely dismembered, and Buriram United Esports locks in their booyah.
From dead last in the 12th spot to grabbing the 12 points thanks to a booyah on Kalahari. It looks like Buriram is not here to play. They are here to wreck.
Here to wreck, here to stay, here to conquer the entire world again. The Brazilian regions in particular put such a big target on their back, and they want to make sure that when the heat comes, they can respond.
But that said though, Netshoes Miners from a mediocre performance in the group stage to coming out on top, making sure they find that final circle so consistently is very impressive.
Absolutely impressive. I think even if they don't win this round, it doesn't really matter, right?
Yeah.
This is the improvement, the growth we want